Hey everybody, welcome back to the 80s Slashers YouTube channel. In this video, I have a quick unboxing, I guess, of a surprise 80s slasher pickup that I found yesterday. So I thought I would make just a quick video to show you guys. Now I'm really excited for this. This is not a good movie from what I've heard. I've never seen it by any means. But I'm always excited when I find 80s slashers out in the wild unexpectedly for like super cheap. And that's what this is. I told the story once before. I was at like the dollar store and they had American Gothic on DVD for $1. And I was super excited. It's like, just a cheap little flimsy, crappy DVD. But just to find it out in the wild, it was exciting. And what this is here, I was at my local mall, and we have a store called Sunrise Records. It's a record store. They sell a lot of music, but they have lots of movies and stuff. I don't usually shop there. I find their prices are a little pricey. I find better deals online and whatnot. But every time I'm at the mall, I go in because you never know, they have deals and stuff. And they had those bins, like the discount bargain bins, and they're mostly filled with crap, but you can find some good stuff. They have like some like Sharknado. They have a lot of like the Sharknado Blu-rays for like 4.99, that kind of stuff, but I always dig through because you never know. And I was digging through one of these bins, and it was like they had like a really cheap bin that was like under $5. There was nothing in there. And then the next bin up, it says like up to like $10, so it's more of the more expensive stuff. So I was digging through this, and they had some Blu-rays and DVDs. And I was, fingering through them there, and they had like the spines facing up. They were all like, like this, like so you can see, like just read the spine of it. And this one, you can kind of see it through the thing here. It just said Scream. What's it say? Scream Theater Volume. What's it? Volume. Anyway, Scream Theater. So I was like, oh, it's a multi-pack with horror flicks. So I always check those. Like you pull them up, and they're usually like the black and white films from the 50s and 60s with like like rip-offs of like the Universal Monsters type films. That's usually what you see. Anyway, I pulled it up, and sure enough, I looked at the cover. There's two films, and one of them was an 80s slasher that I didn't think I was gonna own a physical copy of. But anyway, so let's get this up in here. It's a little noisy. Apologize for that. So what we have here is Blood Cult. As you can see, I paid $1.99 for this, and you get two flicks. So immediately I saw Blood Cult, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is one of the very few slashers released in 1985. I think there was like six that I have listed as six films released in 1985. A really down year. Um, but man, I was so excited to see this. This is a film that has a reputation of being pretty crappy. It's a shot on video. It's one of the first shot on video types of films. And yeah, it's low budget and it looks really cheesy apparently. I've never seen it. I've seen the trailers and stuff and it looks terrible, but like fun terrible. We'll see, because I'll be watching this and reviewing it. Um but yeah, you get the two. So that's what I saw when I was going through the bin. I saw Scream Theater Volume 5. So I was like, oh, what's on this? And I pulled it out and I was like, oh my gosh, $1.99. I don't know. This stuff makes me so excited. So yeah, so what's interesting was when I was at the store, I didn't look it up. I just saw it was Blood Cult, so I'm like, grabbed it. And I was like, that's mine. But the second film, Revenge, I'm like, okay, cool. I get a bonus film. I didn't really know what Revenge was. I'm like, oh, look, it looks kind of like a bloody thing. So I got home and I looked it up, and I had no idea what Revenge is a sequel to Blood Cult. I had no idea. I had no idea there was a sequel to Blood Cult. It's the same director. They're both directed by Christopher Lewis. Um, and it was 86. So yeah, Blood Cult 1985, Revenge 1986. And yeah, so I don't know if this is like I had never heard of this film before, so I don't know if this is considered a slasher or not. From what I've read, all the descriptions, everyone says that it's this everyone says this is not a good film, but there's a certain charm. Some of these early shot on video slashers, there's a certain fun factor. And they said this one isn't as good as Blood Cult, and nobody mentions it as a slasher, whereas this one is mentioned as a slasher. I don't know. On the back it says it's a shocking suspense thriller for revenge. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll watch it. Um, Apparently it's more of a bigger budget. They got had a little more money, but it even though it looks better and it's like there's some actually stars and there's John Carradine. He's in Revenge, but apparently it's not as good as Blood Cult. So anyway. This was released by VCI, so they've released some slashers. I have a few things by them. Yeah, so let's crack this open right quick here, and I'm expecting one bare bones disc, which is probably not a great disc at all. So we'll see. All right, let's tear off this 199 sticker. So yeah. I basically paid $1 for Blood Cult on DVD, and it's gonna look great in my collection. I don't know. I'm really happy. I just love finding these things. Sorry for the noise. So yeah, let's. It feels pretty cheap and flimsy, but let's take a look here. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So VCI Entertainment. You got Blood Cult. You got Revenge. Single disc DVD. Uh, I haven't looked this up. Like, I don't think it's probably worth any money, or Sunrise Records wouldn't have been selling this for $1.99. But I didn't know this existed. I always assumed that Blood Cult was, definitely a movie that you like is on VHS. And I assumed there was probably again I haven't looked it up, but I'm sure there's like a standalone release for Blood Cult. But I assumed it was probably a little harder to get. It's kind of like one of those films that is not easy to get your hands on, and so now I own it, and I'm super excited. I'm really excited. I can't wait to watch it. I'm a sucker for these shot on video crappy films that like you're laughing. You're not really scared. You're laughing because it's so the acting and the screenplay and just everything about it is not well done, but it's entertaining. So yeah, so there we go. That's my quick unbagging of Blood Cult and its follow-up sequel, Revenge. Um, yeah, so I'm excited. I'm probably gonna review this one sooner than later, because like I said, I'm just kind of a sucker for these types of films, and they're kind of fun to talk about and laugh about, and they make for a good, Friday night viewing. You have some drinks and you sit down, and it's always a good time for me. All right, everyone, that's it. I just want to show off my latest $1.99 add to the 80s slashers collection. So yeah, that's it. So until next time. All right. See ya.